Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different for this channel, but more of a return of more lifestyle and gardening content. Y'all told me on Instagram that you really miss that style of content, and my life still includes gardening, sourdough, meal prep, all of that. It is not going to be a focus on this channel. The focus will still be bookish content, but I wanted to share a big project we're doing this spring. I'm going to give you a brief before right now in this clip today of what the garden space has looked like. Oh, you can see where my horses. We are trying to make a more cohesive garden space. Right now we have bits and bobs everywhere all over the yard, and one, it's hard to manage the watering and all of that. Two, it just doesn't look the best. And three, it's really hard when it comes to pest management. My biggest garden foe is the local deer. So we're going to move around our garden spaces, put them in one square area. We've measured out a 24 by 24 foot space, and we will be building a fence, a proper fence around it. Currently we have individual fences around each of the garden beds, and I just don't like the way that looks. It's really hard to manage. If I need to get in there, I need help. Like, I have to pick up one end, someone else needs to pick up the other. It's just a hassle. So we are investing in a fence with gates, and I hope it just makes everything easier for me. And I'm going to vlog this project for you. I hope this video comes together in a bit more of a cohesive thing, and also this is like a heads up for some future content that's a little bit different, a little bit outside of bookish content, but I do still hope to upload 2 bookish videos per week, and then have anything outside of that just be an extra. That is the plan. Let's show you the before. Here is the newer garden area. I got this garden bed for my birthday last year, and that one the year before. These garden beds, as you can see, we are still working on establishing a good soil. This one I severely neglected last year. I didn't fill it up properly. I had a really bad gardening year last year. And then this one has always been surprisingly productive the last 2 years. The kids are driving a buggy down the steps. We also have our blueberry bushes here, which I'm not sure if we're going to move. Maybe not this year. I'm not sure. The deer have eaten quite a lot of these, especially this middle one. A big reason for the urgency of this project being this spring, even though it is quite the undertaking, is during the floods we experienced last summer, I lost this whole garden space. If you remember from my gardening content previously, this had a 7-foot fence around it. It was separated into other garden beds, and the floodwaters came up way past that and completely destroyed it. And instead of trying to rebuild, it was never overly productive anyways. We're scrapping this area. I'm gonna have to dig the boards out and the rock edge that I had, and we'll just let the lawn reclaim this space. Now, it looks like my husband has gotten a head start before I could do a proper before, but this was the original 2 raised garden beds that were here when we bought the property 3.5 years ago. These have been so productive for me. They've worked really, really well, and that's why we adopted the fencing over each individual garden bed, because that's what the previous owners have done. But we will be moving these as well. I'm hoping to recycle the boards for the garden beds to save on cost. And then obviously I'm going to be weeding. Spring has just barely started. The snow has just melted, and already the weeds are taking over. And I would love to be able to move all of the dirt and compost, which that's going to be a huge job in and of itself. There's the boards that my husband has dug up. The kids have this pool, and then we have another kiddie pool that will be a garden in the space I have planned. And I was joking with my husband that it was Sunday morning. I went out with the measuring tape and started measuring things off, and these landed at our house Sunday evening. I said that was the fastest we have gone from, hey babe, I have an idea, to building materials actually coming to the house. We had to remove a tree here, and I'm going to be building the garden space along the shed. This is a very sunny area. The shed is 24 feet long, and building it right up against it will save on building materials as well, because one side of the fence we don't need to build, and we will be building straight across here 24 feet to have a square space. This will have to be tarped. We have to place a tarp. Was that proper English? I don't know. Because there are lots of flowers and some like decorative grass that grows here, but it's just kind of in a weird middle spot of the yard. We didn't love it there before anyways. So that is a brief overview of the plan, and I will try and bring you guys along as we start building out this garden space. I gotta be honest, guys. You know when you get in the mood to declutter your whole closet and you rip everything out and it's all on the floor, and then you regret your decision because there's just so much work? I'm kind of at that point. All of my garden beds are ripped up from where they were. The fence is like 80-90% complete. We are now moving dirt, and I am just seeing this beautiful weather starting. The grass is finally starting to grow. Like, we have a very short, like, oh, it's freezing cold, there's a ton of snow on the ground, to it's go time, let's get things growing. There's not a big window there, and I'm kind of feeling there's makeup all over this coat. Like, there's not gonna be enough time. I'm worried about it. Here is where we're at. These two beds have been moved. Dirt is going into this one, and there's just so much space, so much left to do. Oh boy. We have dirt here that needs to move, dirt there that needs to move from the old beds. I'm kind of stressed.